Howdy folks, my name is Shreddin. Welcome back to Let's Play Super Mario 64, part number 14. In the last part, we took on Bowser in the Fire Sea and some of the castle's secret stars. As a matter of fact, the last set of the castle's secret stars. Now we've just got 5 more courses to go through before we can finally take on Bowser for the final confrontation. First off, though, course number 10 has kind of a strange entryway, and I actually had to look this up the very first time I played the game as a 13-year-old way back in the day. No, that's bad math. I couldn't have been 13. I would have been more like 10 or 11 years old. Excuse me for my poor mathematics. Either way, I had to look it up on the internet how to get into this course. You can see that there is a painting in the mirror. However, there is no painting on the wall. If you just jump into the wall anyways, just like Shifting Sand Land, we can hop on into our course, starting Snowman's Land with Snowman's Big Head. Now, I feel like that's kind of mean to Mr. Snowman here. I mean, he didn't choose to have a big head. See, you know, that's a genetic thing for people. It's not something that they just get to choose to have a massive noggin. And I'm definitely not speaking from a position of having a massive head that I've been made fun of occasionally. Definitely not. No, that is certainly not a thing. But in the Snowman's case, I mean, someone just gave him a big head. I mean, that he had nothing to do with that. Absolutely nothing to do with it in either case, really. So, it is definitely mean to call him big-headed. It is also kind of rude to fall directly off the map and then go pretty much back to the beginning of it. I'm not the hugest fan of Snowman Land. It poses... Is this ice? Huh, that was very interesting. I'm not 100% sure what was going on there. I think that is supposed to be normal water, but I was definitely walking on top of it. Not really sure, but yeah, Snowman's Land is a challenge. Those ice-pushing things that pop out of there as the young 10-year-old me, those were the hardest things in the world to get past. I simply could not get up to the snowman, and then once you get all the way up to the snowman... Hey, who's there? What's climbing on me? Is it an ice ant? A snow flea? Whatever it is, it's bugging me. I think I'll blow it away. So, like the rude boy that he is, I guess he's a little angry for us calling him so big-headed, he's going to blow air onto the icy pathway here. And this pathway has, of course, the ice physics on it that the rest of the bottom of the level does, and that is the one that always trips me up. You're supposed to use our big penguin pal in order to actually get past the blowing air that he's shooting. That was an awkward way to phrase that. You have to use your big penguin pal in order to pass on the pathway. There you go, get all that alliteration in there. That's much better. And the punishment for getting blown off is that you have to climb all the way back up every single time. And the penguin guy is a jerk. I think it's supposed to be that the penguin is, like, scared of walking across the walkway, but when he walks across it the other direction back towards you, there's no breaks whatsoever, which I understand is more so of a gameplay mechanic so that he doesn't take forever to get back for a second attempt, or if he's already crossing like he is right here, you don't have to wait as long for him to get back over to you. But yeah, I feel like it's really rude that the penguin here is like totally juking you, because this is no benefit to anyone but the rude snowman that is trying to blow us off the pathway, truly. Alright, let's give this another go, why don't we? I'm actually kind of curious now. Oh, that was a lot trickier than I thought it would be. So, if you don't feel like waiting for the penguin, I guess you can do a long jump when he's closer to the middle and blocking all of the air, and you can go ahead and grab the very first power star in Snowman's Land.
Here we go!
Alrighty, star number 2, Chill with the Bully. So we've already encountered some bullies in Lethal Lava Land, which feels like forever ago at this point, even though it was only a couple of stages. So we've got another experience with a bully, however this guy is a lot meaner than the previous bully. I feel like he hits a little bit harder, and you have to fight him on a platform with ice physics, which is a lot trickier, so this is just a little bit more challenging than the previous bully, but the same tactic is going to work here. If I cannot get knocked off again, if you can just do some well-timed jump kicks right into his face, you will eventually be able to knock him off the platform, just like the other bully, and another star lands in our collection. Not the most challenging, but still pretty tricky.
Here we go!
Star number 3, In the Deep Freeze. I was mentioning it in a comment that I had written out as a reply earlier today, but I get the general feeling that the difficulty of the stages at this point gets just a wee bit easier than it actually has been. The overall stage difficulty, I think, of the next 5 stages goes down from what we've seen before. However, the actual high points that are contained within the 5, I think, are much, much harder than what we've seen. So it'll be interesting to see. For example, this is a super easy star. You just jump on top of it.
Here we go!
Alright, we're moving through these pretty quickly. We've got star number 4 here, Whirl from the Freezing Pond. Now this star, okay, man, this star is very tricky, almost trickier than any other because it is a one-shot, and if you do not maintain your ability, your momentum, your skill, then you will fail and have to restart the level in order to get it. Yeah, or that can happen. Or literally, I'm mad. I'm actually kind of upset that that is the thing that happened to me. That's the power star. This is my second attempt doing the stage, and I killed both enemies, and there's no way over here other than using one of the enemies, but, you know, could have just standed there and waited.
Here we go!
Alrighty, star number 5, Shell Shreddin for red coins. So this also makes me kind of frustrated. This requires you to go to the same exact area that you just went to for the last star, and it has the same thing. If you biff it on the first try, well, it's going to be really unfortunate. And as a matter of fact, it's even more restrictive than just hopping over there for the original star, because as the name of the level implies, we are going to be getting a Koopa shell from the second box over here in order to get our red coins. If you lose the shell before you get the red coins that you need to grab with it, well, guess who's restarting the level? I guess it is kind of a lie to say that the entire difficulty has dropped, but then that's almost like fake difficulty, you know? It's just like if you lose the shell, oh well, sucks to be you. You gotta get these 2 red coins that are under the bully right here. You have to grab those with the shell, because otherwise that water is too cold to swim in, and it acts as lava. It'll actually just bump you back out. It's kind of humorous to watch it, actually. And there, I've lost my shell, which is most unfortunate, but thankfully we've only got 1 more red coin that we've got to collect. And I'm trying to remember where exactly it is. I just know that you need to grab the 2 on the pond, basically as I did there, but the other ones are not nearly as dangerous to grab. And there it is, just waiting in the distance for us. I can't believe I just ran right past it, but there we go. Oh. For a moment I thought that was appearing over by the frozen pond there, but now I'm recognizing that it was just appearing over the hill, and it decided that that was the easier camera angle to show me for where the star was. But that was extremely awkward, and I definitely thought for a moment that I was going to have to try to jump off of that second enemy over there to try and be able to get my star. But indeed, right, quite the opposite. Actually, why did it show me from that angle? That was the weirdest thing. Oh well, I've only got 1 more star to grab, and the 100 coin star, going to be quite easy.
Here we go!
Alrighty, we've only got 2 more stars to collect. Star number 6 into the Igloo, and our 100 coin star. So let's go ahead and turn around right as soon as we drop in and start collecting the coins over here. I've also got this enemy that is what I lost my shell on in the last level that I didn't mention anything before. I didn't mention anything about him before. I've always found those enemies really fascinating. I think they're supposed to be like frog wallets, is my guess. And my best assumption, which I'm an uncultured swine and I don't actually know anything about it, so don't take this as gospel. Take it with the boulder of salt, if you would. But I'm pretty sure that there's some sort of connection between frogs and money in Japan, and that's the reason that frogs and wallets are kind of one and the same. Why it's a very popular thing to have like coin pouches be frogs with their mouth open. The only justification I have for believing that is that I've seen it in a couple of anime as well as in this game, and some of the actual new Super Mario Bros. Games, now that I'm thinking about it, they also had that frog wallet enemy in some of the stages. So I just think that's a little interesting tidbit of trivia. I have no idea where that Shy Guy went. Oh, there he is. Just trying to be a distraction and fly in from off screen, I see. See, some of the enemies actually know what they're doing. They're trying to be tricky and avoid my collecting of their coins, but I will allow none of that, for I need all the coins that I can get, and I've already missed 2 from the enemy drops. But then, I think this is one of the stages that actually has well more than 100 coins if you manage to collect them all, especially once we go inside the Igloo for our actual Power Star. You will find that there is a treasure trove of coins out there, or in there, rather. Apparently I can't speak today or use the proper... I didn't realize that was another frog guy. Frog guy! I need your coin. Throw your merchant a coin, please. No, that's not. What is it? Witcher. There we go. And this is coming from someone who I legitimately bought all the games on Steam the other day, and I was super enthused. I was like, I spent $20. I got 3 cool games, and I'm really about to get super into this. And then I tried for like an hour, put it down, and now I don't remember where I was or what I was doing, and it's kind of awkward to go back to. I have committed an eternal sin. But then I'm sure that'll be a game that I go back to someday. I can't imagine myself ever attempting to Let's Play a game that is that long. Like I said, but keeping this series to only 20 parts is a dream as far as I'm concerned. I feel like that kind of hits the optimal. Viewers start to lose interest the longer a series goes on, regardless of the series. It's just kind of something that happens over time, and that's definitely something that you can find for pretty much any Let's Player and in any of their series. It's a really curious phenomenon. The very first part of a series gets so many more views than the subsequent parts. It's actually kind of crazy when you think about it, and it makes sense. When you look at your numbers, most of those people are coming from, they are legitimately searching, you know, like, in this game's case, it would be Super Mario 64 Part 1. That's it. That's the whole search term. And I feel like most people... I wonder how many people legitimately are coming from a position of trying to find new content creators. That's something that I used to... Oh, man. Come on, no. That is something that I used to do when I first found out about Let's Plays as a kid. I would just basically do that. I would think of games that I wanted to see people play, and then I would just type them in basically like that. So I can definitely see why it is that that occurs, but then it's also kind of like... For specific games, wouldn't you want to see specific parts of the game? That's why I'm trying to make sure to put the star names in every single video description, and so far I've only forgotten on a published video 1 time, thank goodness. All that said, oh, you do have to long jump through there in order to get it. It's okay, I think 55 coins is going to be enough for us to enter the Igloo and not run into any issues. If it's not enough, it's going to be a really unfortunate waste of recording time and footage, but I think that we're going to be okay. I think 55 is quite enough to be able to tackle the inside of the Igloo, and I mean, that's basically all of the coins out here in the first place, except for the 2 guys in the water that are hard to get. Actually, I see also there's a line of coins leading into the water there that would have been convenient to grab with the shell. But we're going to be passing by all of that business and attempting instead to get inside the Igloo. So, if I remember correctly... Ooh, okay. Oh, no, that's not how you do it. This is not how you do this at all. This is how you get pushed into the icy cold water that will make you have a sad day. I think the intention is that you're supposed to surf the shell up to where the Igloo is. It's right on the other side, right there. It's just right over there. And the tricky thing is... Actually, now that I'm remembering a little bit more... Oh, that was so close! That was so close! Oh, that was tragically close to actually being in the Igloo. Unfortunate. But that just means that we've got to give it another go, and eventually we will be able to get it. Same thing for my inability to surf over to the pond on the flying guys the first go. Sometimes you've just got to give it another attempt. Pick your hopes up, and eventually you might be able to get it. Okay. There we go, that is a much more picturesque jump, and I'm almost tempted to grab these coins just in case, because it looks like a lot more than 5. It was a lot more than 5, it was more like 8, so I'm feeling a lot happier with this coin total going into the Igloo, although I would really like to get out of the death water at this moment, please. Okay, thank you. Let me get on the dry land once again, get back over to the Igloo using some tricky long jumps. And yeah, we can finally go inside the Igloo, grab the goal that we've been waiting to collect for oh so long here. Okay. Line this up once more. I think that you may have heard it in one of the death outtakes in Shifting Sandland, if I'm remembering correctly. But if not, I would like to take the time to mention now that for as much as I appreciate Lakitu for being contextualized as a physical entity within the game, I think it set the standard, or at least, like, the gaming technology just wasn't there to be able to make cameras anything but a physical entity in the world, and it makes weird situations like this where he gets caught up on geometry, and that's one of the things that I'm most grateful for in modern games, is cameras that don't get stuck on geometry anymore. So, using a move we've never had to use up to this point, and this is the only use that it actually has, you must crouch as if you were going to do a backflip, and then crawl into the Igloo. This is not something that you have to do at any other point in the game to get any other star, it is just this one. You have to crawl into the Igloo. And, you know, for what it's worth, I think that it's actually pretty cool that at least they did include a use for the move that they programmed within the game, but on the other hand, it makes it feel quite, like, well, why bother to make that a thing if it's gonna be the only time that you're going to use it? But maybe that's coming from more of a modern day perspective where you're trying to think of, you know, efficiency mostly in terms of efficiency. What is the most, okay, camera, please. This is what I mean by it's a problem with him being a physical entity. He gets caught on all sorts of wacky stuff like that, and it is really disorienting, extremely disorienting. As I was saying, I don't remember what I was saying, which is really rather tragic. But we are pretty close to being able to gather 100 total coins, which I think is pretty neato. Only got 3 more to collect. We've got a Goomba. Oh man, am I going to be 2 coins short? Am I going to be actually 2 coins short of 100? If this is what happens, I might actually cry. Camera, please! I just want to see what's attacking me, but you're... See, and it frustrates me too, because it clearly has the ability to phase through walls when necessary, when it's trying to get back to Mario under any circumstance. But when it's trying to work for you, the game just refuses to push the camera through the walls when you're trying to do it manually. Okay, I'm going to hope and pray that one of those boxes over there has some coins in there. Otherwise, this is going to be probably the most tragic story. Oh, thank goodness. That is our 100 coin star, collected indeed, and hopefully with the ability of the Vanish Cap still active, gonna mash through the dialogue box, and we can just collect our star inside the Igloo. And that's going to finish up Snowman's Land, course number 10. Thank goodness, that was kind of stressful, honestly. I thought that I wasn't going to have enough coins to be able to beat that, but we were able to do it by the hair of our nose. If only I had collected those 2 coins from the coin pouch enemies, we would have been totally safe. So that's looking like it's going to be it for course number 10, but since we're so close to the courses that are going to come after this one, we've got a pick of 3 more just in this room, and I'm going to get us loaded up in front of the next one. So my name is Reddy Opko. I hope you guys have enjoyed part number 14 of Let's Play Super Mario 64. I hope you will be staying tuned for part number 15, in which we tackle course number 11, Wet Dry World. Hope to be seeing you then.